Hi scholars, this is Miss Doig and we are back for day 2 of shared reading. If you haven't watched the video from day 1 of shared reading for yesterday, make sure you watch that one first. Let's get started. Do you remember the name of our shared reading book for this week? What's the title? You're right. Do you know this nose? Good, let's read it together. Do you know this nose? Good. Now, do you remember who the author of this story is, or of this book? It is Faye Robinson. Good. And the author writes the words. Now, do you remember the genre of this book, or what kind of book this is? Let's think. Is it fiction or nonfiction? Nonfiction. You're right. This book is nonfiction because we read it to learn. It's full of true information about real animals and their noses. So this book is nonfiction. Good job. We are going to start by rereading the book together. And then at the end, we'll talk about some features of nonfiction books that we see in this book. Do you know this nose? Ready? Let's read. Do you know this nose? Written by Faye Robinson. Do you know this nose? Every animal's nose helps it live. Do you know this nose? It's a human's nose, of course. Our noses help us breathe. Our noses help us smell things. We all need our noses, but not all noses look like ours. Do you know this nose? It's an elephant's nose. An elephant's nose is very long. Elephants can use their noses to pick up things. They bring leaves to their mouths to eat. Elephants use their nose to help them eat. Do you know this nose? It's an alligator's nose. An alligator's nose has wide nostrils. Alligators stick their noses out of the water. That way, they can breathe when they swim. An alligator can close up its nostrils when it dives underwater. Do you know this nose? It's an anteater's nose. An anteater's nose is at the tip of a very long jaw. Anteaters poke their snouts into big anthills. They eat the ants inside. Anteaters don't see very well. They use their noses to sniff for food. There are so many different noses. Which of these noses do you know? Number 1, a hippopotamus. Number 2, a camel. Number 3, a dog. Number 4, a pig. Number 5, a seal. Nice job, readers. Awesome. Now, we know that this book is a nonfiction book, right? We read it to learn, and it's full of true information. Now, here on page 12, we talked about this feature yesterday. This is a how-to. Some nonfiction books will give us directions of how to make something. Pretty neat. So this is a feature of nonfiction books. Another feature that we see in nonfiction books, and a feature is just something that it has, is photographs. Do you remember from yesterday what a photograph is? You're right. It's a picture that's taken by a camera or a video. Good. So these are photographs. Another feature of nonfiction books that we're going to talk about today are called captions. Can you say that word? Captions. Good, let's clap it. Captions. Good. Captions. Now, captions are found normally near the photograph or on it. And a caption can give us more information about what we are reading. Now, sometimes the caption gives us the same information as what we read up here in the text, and sometimes the caption can give us different information where we learn another fact. Pretty cool, huh? So let's turn to page 6. If you have your book in front of you, turn to page 6. Ready? I'm going to read the text. This is the text or the words, and then I'll read the caption. We're going to think, does the caption tell us the same thing as the text, or does it tell us a different fact? Let's read. It's an elephant's nose. An elephant's nose is very long. Elephants can use their noses to pick up things. They bring leaves to their mouths to eat. Now here's the caption. Elephants use their nose to help them eat. Did the caption tell you the same information as the text, or did it give you another fact? It was the same. You're right. Up here in the text, it tells us that elephants use their noses to eat and to pick up things, right? And then the caption tells us the same thing, that elephants use their nose to help them eat. The caption shows us what's happening here, and it's the same information as the text. Good job. Now, let's turn to page 8. Here's another caption on the photograph. So I'm going to read the text, then I'll read the caption, and we'll decide, is the caption the same information or does it teach us a different fact? Let's read. It's an alligator's nose. An alligator's nose has wide nostrils. Alligators stick their noses out of the water. That way, they can breathe when they swim. Let's read the caption. An alligator can close up its nostrils when it dives underwater. Wow. Now, is that caption the same thing that we learned up here, or is it a different fact? It's different. You're right. Up here, it tells me that they use their noses, but it tells me that they stick their noses out of the water. The caption tells me that they can close their nostrils when they go underwater. Wow, how neat. So this caption told me a different fact, another fact that I wouldn't have learned up here. Neat. Now let's turn to page 10. Here's another caption. I'm going to read the text. We'll decide if the caption teaches us the same information as the text, or does it teach us a different fact? Let's read. It's an anteater's nose. An anteater's nose is at the tip of a very long jaw. Anteaters poke their snouts into big anthills. They eat the ants inside. Now here's the caption. Anteaters don't see very well. They use their noses to sniff for food. Now, is that caption the same as what we learned up here in the text, or is it a different fact? A different fact. Good job. Yeah, up here it tells me about their nose, and it's found at the end of their jaw. And it tells me that they poke it into big ant hills to eat the ants. But then the caption tells me another fact, that they use their noses because they can't see very well. Wow, how neat. Awesome job, scholars. So today we learned about more features of nonfiction text, and we talked about the captions. Awesome job. My dog is barking. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.